Welcome back to my channel at The Movie Optimist, where I try and find the silver linings in even the worst of films. Tonight, I just got done watching the newest film, the Super Mario Galaxy Brothers movie, and it's a direct sequel to the first smash hit that came out a couple years ago. Essentially, in this movie, Peach decides to go on a quest to help a character named Rosalina, and she does this without letting the Mario Brothers know. Once they find out, they try and follow after her to help her on her quest, and along the way, they meet a bunch of characters from the Nintendo lore. And at the crux of my problems with this movie is essentially that this movie doesn't feel like a Super Mario Brothers movie. It feels like a Nintendo characters the movie. The Mario Brothers kind of take a backseat here in favor of introducing a lot of other characters, and in a lot of ways this movie feels like they are trying very hard to fast track a Super Smash Brothers movie. And for those of you who don't know, that's a very popular video game that takes a lot of Nintendo characters and puts them in an arena to battle. And essentially, it's like Nintendo's version of Avengers, where you have all these classic heroes teaming up and fighting other heroes and other villains. And it feels like this movie was made to fast track that movie, where they didn't really care about telling another grounded, coherent story with the Mario Brothers. They just wanted to introduce all these characters, but it's so rushed. It feels like they're introducing things that are sprinting past the screen. It's like, oh look, there's that character that we know and love from the games, and there they go. And oh look, there's that planet that we know and love from the games, and there it goes. And it happens so fast that you don't get a chance to really resonate with any of the things they introduce. There's multiple plots going on at once. On one hand, you have the Mario Brothers trying to catch up to Peach to help her. Then you have Peach's quest trying to find Rosalina. Then you have the Bowser plot line about the relationship between him and his son. Then you also have the Bowser plot line between him and Mario trying to mend their differences, where Bowser's trying to show Mario that he's a changed man. Then you have another plot line with a cameo character that shows up to help Peach, and then you have another plot line and another plot line and another plot line. And it was just like they're trying to cram too many things in at once, and because they're focusing on so many different things, they don't succeed at anything because you don't have enough chance to flesh out each of these individual arcs. And when they do get to a resolution for them, none of them actually feel earned. There is a lot of cameos in this movie, and to some kids it might be like, yay, we got to see this character from the game for 13 seconds, that was awesome. But for me, it's like, why was this character in this movie if they're not giving anything important to do? It seems like they were just there for fans to be like, woohoo! It's really, at its heart, fan service, the movie. Whereas in the first one, told a really coherent story about two brothers and them having each other's backs. There was a lot of heart in this movie, and this movie kind of feels devoid of that heart. Now, don't get me wrong, there is heart in it between Princess Rosalina and Princess Peach, and there's some heart between Bowser and his son, but the heart between Mario and Luigi is kind of devoid. And again, my biggest problem with the movie is that it doesn't feel like a Mario Brothers movie. It feels like a Nintendo characters the movie. They don't really give the Mario Brothers a lot to do outside of some really cool fight scenes and platforming moments where it turns into like the 2D version of the Mario games you all know and love. But outside of that, they felt wasted. All the cameos felt wasted, and really at the end of it, this was a story about Peach kind of going on a quest to discover something for herself that I don't want to ruin here, and she definitely has the standout moments of the film, but outside of that, everything else felt kind of disappointing. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this movie was terrible, and I really liked the first Mario Brothers movie a lot. I know a lot of critics were very unfair to it and talked pretty ill about it, but I actually really enjoyed that movie because, again, I really enjoyed the story of these two brothers just learning to work together and have each other's backs, and I thought it was really sweet and filled with a ton of heart. So it's not like I'm a hater of like this Nintendo universe as a whole. This one was just really disappointing. But that being said, as much as I'm talking ill about it, there are some moments in this that put a smile on my face that elevate it to a point that I could still say I recommend it. Like I said, there are some great action set pieces in this. One of them being a set piece with Princess Peach in a casino type area where she's battling a bunch of bad guys. That was pretty awesome. Another one being the final battle with Mario, Luigi, and Bowser and his son. That was pretty awesome. The cameos, when they were there and seeing them, some get more screen time than others. It was awesome seeing those characters and seeing them brought to life outside of a video game, specifically one in particular that they released a poster of a couple weeks before the movie came out, and he is my favorite Nintendo character of all time and the character I play the most as in a Super Smash Brothers game. It was really exciting to see him, even though I felt he was kind of wasted, but when he was there, I had a huge smile on my face. It's a lot of fun when it goes into the 2D animation illumination style, and you see Mario and Peach jumping over all the obstacles and jumping on the bricks and doing the thing that you see them do in the video games and the side scroller, and you have the Mario Brothers music blasting over it. Like, those moments are fun, and there's so many of them in this movie that even though I felt like the movie was kind of a sloppy mess, I was still smiling more than I wasn't. Does the movie rush past literally everything to shoehorn in more characters to set up a bigger movie? Yes, but I still had a smile on my face. The chemistry between Mario and Luigi is still sweet. There's a lot of comedy to be had. There's a lot of fan service, and if that's enough for you, I think you're gonna really enjoy this movie. And it was enough for me to just get it over the finish line and give it a 6 out of 10. I do think it's still a fun movie. It's just rushed, it's lazy, and I don't want to hear the nonsense about, oh, well, this movie wasn't made for you, it was made for the video game fans. It's the same thing that I said during the Five Nights at Freddy's sequel. You can't just make a movie that appeases to video game fans that fails for everybody else. Movies have to be 4-quadrant and work for everybody, especially a kid's movie like this. And I don't want to hear, oh, it's a video game movie, it doesn't have to have a great story. It's like, yes, it does. It absolutely does, because sure, you could put a bunch of fan service in it that's going to appease all the video game fans, but to everyone else, it's going to fly over their head, and then the movie's not going to be financially successful if you don't get the 4-quadrant of people to enjoy this movie and recommend it to everybody else. Look at the Pixar movies, look at Inside Out 2, look at Toy Story. They all tell really well thought-provoking movies that are also awesome for kids. They could have easily made this more about Mario, Luigi, and Princess Peach, and then do a spin-off movie with some of these other characters and have Mario and Luigi show up in it. At least then it's not a Mario and Luigi movie, so it's a little bit more forgiving that they don't have a lot to do or a lot of screen time because it's focusing on somebody else, and you'll get the audience of Mario lovers to show up to this to see why they're in the movie. They should have done that and introduced more characters a la Marvel, giving everyone their own little spin-off movie leading up to the Avengers film. I just feel like that's what they should have done here, but instead they crammed it all into one movie, and it just felt like rushed fan service with a lot of fun to be had in it. But yeah, guys, I give this movie a 6 out of 10. If you love these video games, you're gonna really enjoy it, and if you don't play the video games, I think you'll at least laugh a couple times and find the animation cool. But what say you? What do you think about this movie, guys? Have you seen it already? Has my review swayed your opinion on whether or not you want to see it? I would love to talk about it in the comments down below, and yes, I am still looking forward to seeing what they do next in a third installment if this one is financially successful, because at the end of the day, I do still love these characters, and I do want a Super Smash Bros. Movie. I just hope that the next Mario Brothers movie makes it more about them, and maybe they get some new writers and make it a little bit more narrow of a story. Anyway, guys, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you next time.